Hello, everyone. Welcome to the newest episode of the Geek Report. This episode will look at the news for the weeks of April 5th, 2026 to April 19th, 2026. Now let's take a look at the news that dropped in the world of TV for the past 2 weeks.
Hey everyone, hope everyone's doing good. Hope you all are doing happy, doing blessed, doing safe, and doing well. Welcome to your Geek Report for the weeks of April the 5th through April the 19th of 2026. So really, in this episode of the Geek Report, everything is going to be coming out of our movie and TV segment. And we've got a few news items to talk about. So first off, we're going to be talking about nothing but trailers. So first off, the first big trailer that came out these past 2 weeks was the new Street Fighter trailer. I'm going to talk about it a little bit, and I'm going to explain why this trailer is so important and why it's got me so hyped. Then we got a new trailer for the Mandalorian and Grogu. This will probably be the final trailer for this Star Wars film that's coming out in May. I'm going to talk to you all a little bit about why I am not hyped for this movie at all, and really why I don't think a lot of people are hyped at all. Then we got a new trailer for the next Tom Clancy property, which comes out Amazon Studios, and that's for Jack Ryan. And they're doing a movie based on the Jack Ryan series called Ghost War. I'm going to tell y'all why I want to see this so bad, why I like what I'm seeing in this trailer so bad, and also what I'm thinking could possibly be leading to. So, sit back, relax, grab yourself something to eat, grab yourself something to drink, and let's look at the Geek Report for the weeks of April the 5th through April the 19th of 2026.
Now, let's begin our Geek Report in our TV and movie segment. So, let's see what big news dropped in the past 2 weeks in the world of TV, movies, and anime.
So, beginning our Geek Report, we're going to start off in our movie and TV segment, and we're going to talk about the trailers. And the first trailer we got to talk about is obviously Street Fighter. Now, let me say that this trailer, out of the previous trailers we've seen for this movie, is the one that gets my hype going. Okay? It has so much involved in this trailer, and it speaks to so much of what the fans expect out of a Street Fighter movie. Okay, because in all honesty, okay, when I heard that they were doing another Street Fighter movie, I thought, oh no, it's going to be like the old Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, okay? You know, it's going to be corny, they're going to have their own story, all that. But after seeing this trailer, I am fully convinced that they are not only following the story of the original Street Fighter games, but they're having fun with it. They're having a ball with it, okay? I mean, there's just so much I'm going to talk about with this trailer. So, this here is the trailer for the upcoming movie, Street Fighter. 5, 4, 3. Now, if you listen in the background, you can see and hear the actual voice from the original game already, okay? And if you look at the characters they're bringing on, these look like the Street Fighter characters, okay?
2, 1. I got good news, y'all. Gathered here are the world's best fighters.
I won't deny it, I'm a Street Fighter.
But only one.
I mean, you've got Cody Rhodes as freaking Guile with the haircut, okay? So they are from what I'm seeing so far, they are capturing the look of the original fighters, okay? They're not trying to change them or anything, and I'm already digging it.
One of which will be crowned.
There's Cammy right there.
The world
There's 50 Cent playing Balrog.
champion of Street Fighter.
You win!
Perfect.
You're not a warrior anymore, you're a sideshow.
This is a surprise.
What's up, MTV? I'm Ken Masters.
Suckers keep boxing.
This is your shot at redemption.
To my business is
Okay, so going back to that, All right, I'm going to go back here. Right there. This seems like the story for Ken in this movie is one of redemption. Okay? Like, he got too high on the hog in terms of the fame and all that stuff, and he lost his edge. And it seems like here he's losing his fight to Balrog. Okay? And then he kind of lost his way. Okay, so that's what I'm getting from that right there. Okay, is that Ken is trying to earn his redemption and be the warrior he once was.
Were you gonna show?
The path I'm on now is not one of combat.
Maybe it's Ken's turn to be champion.
How did you find me?
I'm paid to find champions.
And there's another character from Street Fighter right there. If I remember correctly, this was the fighter Zangief from Russia. Okay? So I believe that's who we're dealing with right here, is Zangief from Russia.
Even if they're lost.
There's Ken Masters. Now, this is probably after his fall, after he's kind of lost himself to the fame, to the money, all that.
Good to see you, old friend.
That looks like Ryu. Okay. Now, Ryu is probably the one thing that's concerning me because we don't see him in the white outfit, whereas Ken Masters is in the red. Okay. That's kind of concerning to me. Okay, of what's going on between Ryu and Ken.
Still reckless.
Sit down.
This tournament is not what it seems. We have to be ready.
Right there. There's Guile's special move right there. His wheel kick. Okay? I mean, they're doing all the hits for the fans. And so far, I'm absolutely loving it.
Everyone keeps going on about your thighs.
And right there. Well, now let me back it up so that way you can hear what she says, okay?
Everyone keeps going on about your thighs.
Okay, that's kind of a joke in like the Street Fighter community because Chun-Li, who's in the blue there, in the dark blue, is talking to Cammy in the light blue, okay? And the joke in the Street Fighter community is that Chun-Li's got some thick thighs because of her moves, okay? Because the majority of Chun-Li's moves are kick-based, okay? So the joke in like the Street Fighter community is that Chun-Li has got some thick thighs, okay? And it's kind of like a joke in the community. And the fact that they're using it in this movie tells me not only are they trying to follow the games, but they're having fun with it. They're trying not to be too serious about it.
I don't see what the big deal is. Bitch, please!
And there right there is Zangief's special move. I remember that because Zangief was from Russia and he was a wrestler, okay? But he didn't like wrestle like American wrestling. It was full contact wrestling. And he would grab you and like spin you around and smash you down. And it would knock the sense out of you. So they're incorporating that in the movie, which I am absolutely totally down with. Okay, I'm so glad that they're getting all these special moves in this movie.
damn shit.
Now, here's my problem, okay? So, right here, you're going to see Ken Masters' special move, okay? Let me show it to you. All right, there's my problem right there. In the game, okay, when Ken Masters did that dragon uppercut, it would have flames on it, okay? The fact that it does not have flames on it is kind of concerning to me because they're getting all these other fighters' special moves. Why can't they do Ken and his flaming uppercut? Okay, now I will say this. In the first Street Fighter game, his uppercut did not have flames to it. Okay, it was in later iterations that it did. Okay, but still, I would have liked to have seen flames on the dragon uppercut for Ken. Okay.
I'm positive that a fireball came out of Ryu.
And that right there, we are about to see one of the most iconic moves in video game history. Okay? Not just in fighting, not just in like Street Fighter, but in all video game history, we are about to see one of the most iconic moves that even if you've never played a Street Fighter game before, okay, you know this move. Because either you've heard of it, or you've played Street Fighter and it was spammed against you like 20 million times. Okay?
Do it, Ryu!
And it's coming out on October 16th. This trailer, above all the other trailers for Street Fighter, has really got my hype going. Okay? I absolutely love this trailer. I thought I did a great job. And if I'm going to be honest, it's honestly got me to the point where I'm going to put it down on my calendar and see if I can't catch a ride over to the nearest theater to go and watch this movie. Okay? Like, it would be worth the $100 I would have to spend to go see this movie because the trailer has made it look so good. Okay? They've got all the moves from the characters. Okay? They've got Chun-Li, Cammy, Zangief, Ken, Ryu, M. Bison, Vega. They even had E. Honda on there. I mean, they have taken the original Street Fighters and the ones that came later on, okay, like Balrog, like Cammy, and some of the others, and they've combined them all together. And basically, you know, you've got multiple stories going on. You've got M. Bison doing his thing, being evil. You've got the World Tournament. You've got Ken seeking some type of redemption for a loss to Balrog. Okay. I mean, they're doing this right by all accounts. Okay. By all accounts, they're doing this right. It's over the top, fun. It doesn't seem like to have like any nonsense in it. And I want to go see this. I really want to go see this. Okay. They have, by all accounts, done right by this movie. And I honestly can't wait till it comes out in theaters. And after watching this trailer, I honestly am asking myself whether or not it is worth $100 to go see. Okay. But there's always the wild card. What if this is just the good points? Okay. What if Hollywood tries to ram something down our throats in this movie? Okay. You know, it looks great. This trailer looks great. Okay. It looks like they're doing everything right. But I'm still concerned that Hollywood's going to try to pull something. But yeah, that was the trailer for the upcoming movie Street Fighter. It is coming out in October. On October 16th, to be precise, to theaters only. What else can I say? This trailer got me hyped for this movie. But still in the back of my mind, we've been burned before, and I don't want to be burned again. After looking at this trailer over and over again, just the way they did the music and the way they've done like the voices and from the previous trailers, I'm hyped for this movie, okay? But I'm still worried that Hollywood's going to try to pull a fast one on us and really try to mess this up with their political nonsense, which I really hope they don't.
Continuing on with the news from TV, movies, and anime from the past 2 weeks.
So, continuing on with our movie and TV segment, we of course have got to talk about the newest trailer from the next Star Wars film, The Mandalorian and Grogu, which as of the recording of this Geek Report comes out next month. Let me say that the way they've handled trying to build hype for The Mandalorian and Grogu has been abysmal. Okay? We first had that trailer that was a play on the old Clydesdale trailers during the Super Bowl. No one liked that. It didn't tell us anything. It didn't show us anything. Then we had another trailer after that that actually showed us some stuff from this movie. And that one was a little bit better. Okay? That one was a tad better. Now we got this one, which will probably end up being the final trailer before the release. Okay? Because the movie is supposed to come out on May 22nd. So let's take a look at the trailer, which is presumably the final trailer for the Star Wars movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu, and I'll give you some of my thoughts and opinions on it. Okay, first thing is we see Grogu up on a tree stump here, okay? And in the background, you can hear Yoda's theme going on. What is going on here? Okay? Because in The Mandalorian, the show, okay, Grogu was given a choice. Alright? He was given a choice. He could either return to the Mandalorian and become a Mandalorian himself, or he could become a Jedi. Luke gave him that choice, and he chose to return to Din Djarin and become a Mandalorian. So, why is he meditating like a Jedi? Okay, that's a question I kind of have that I'm kind of curious about. Because I'm starting to wonder if maybe the reason he didn't return to being a Mandalorian was to kind of bridge the Jedi and the Mandalorians. Okay? Because that has happened before. There was one Mandalorian who was a Jedi. Okay? I'm starting to wonder if perhaps Grogu ain't going down that path of somehow trying to bridge the Jedi way with the Mandalorian way.
We've all heard stories of the Mandalorian bounty hunter and a child.
I only hunt Imperial.
Now, this is kind of curious right here. Okay. In the Mandalorian show, we saw what was amounted to a council of Imperial warlords who were still active. Okay. And I'm kind of wondering if this ain't continuing that storyline. Towards the end of season 3, we saw the main Imperial bad guy, who was Moff Gideon, talking to a shadow council of Imperial sympathizers and warlords. And now we see this, and I'm kind of wondering if we're not going back to that storyline in this movie.
War criminals. I'll take out every bad guy in your deck of cards.
This isn't about revenge. It's about preventing.
Sigourney Weaver as a New Republic pilot, awesome. Okay, I mean, she will always be like one of the queens of science fiction to my book. Seeing her in this, totally awesome.
Another war.
Before going into harm's way, check your armor first.
We're protecting everything the rebellion fought for.
Good luck.
You're gonna need it.
Hey. Strap in.
It's good to see the Mandalorian shit back. You know, he had that N1 starfighter, so it's good to see him having his old shit back.
Strap in.
We need a professional.
Hang on.
What happens when you're not there to protect him?
You good? I'll be right behind you. Go. Go!
Mandalorian, you will suffer. Then it will be his turn.
Monsters. The old protect the young. And then the young. Protect the old. It's time.
I'm loving the music, okay?
Are you scared? You should be.
Good job, baby.
This is the way.
And it comes out in on May 22nd in theaters only. Any other time, and I would be super hyped for this because it's a Star Wars film. Okay. And I just found out that there's a small theater in my town that's going to be showing it. Okay. But even with this trailer, which was a good trailer by all accounts, okay, I really don't have any hype for this movie. Okay? Because at this point, Star Wars has been so damaged by misuse, mishandling by Disney, you know, and had so much drama surrounding it, okay, that I don't know if you can even give it good hype for this movie. Okay? You know, I want to like this movie, okay? But the fact that this is probably Jon Favreau's goodbye from Star Wars, the fact that this still technically has Kathleen Kennedy's fingerprints on it, even though she left, and the fact that we don't know, like, what their plans are concerning Star Wars going forward, and the fact about, by all accounts, this is still leading into the sequel trilogy, which I liked the first one, which was The Force Awakens. But The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker were absolutely horrible. And this is leading into that. Really, by all accounts, the sequel trilogy brings down the rest of Star Wars because of how horrible it was. Okay? Any other time, if this movie did not have the sequel trilogy to go into, okay, if this movie was not leading into the sequel trilogy, I probably think that it would be a pretty decent movie. But now, I don't know. Okay? I just have no hype for Star Wars. And this seemed like a good trailer, you know? It had all the good beats to it, good sound. It showed the ships. It showed Grogu. It showed Sigourney Weaver, all that. But as I look at it and I try to get some hype behind it, the sequel trilogy just kind of drags everything down. Because if this is leading into the sequel trilogy, we know what happens to Grogu. We know what happens to Din Djarin. By all accounts, they're dead when the sequel trilogy starts. Unless something completely changes. So, I don't know. Okay. I think at this point, there needs to be a serious question behind the scenes at Star Wars of whether or not they should retcon the sequel trilogy. Okay. Find a way to retcon it somehow. and maybe a couple of other things. All right. But as for this trailer, it was a good trailer. I mean, it made the movie seem exciting. It's just there's been so much drama surrounding Lucasfilm and Star Wars that it has come to a point where even if you see something good, and this ain't the only time this has happened in Star Wars. Skeleton Crew was another example of brand mismanagement. They had Star Wars Skeleton Crew on there, and it was a good show, but people weren't watching it because of the brand damage. Okay, and the Mandalorian Grogu is the same way. The brand has been damaged so much that, you know, every time you see a Star Wars movie, you wonder, okay, what are they going to put in it this time? What nonsense are they going to add to it this time? Am I going to go see this? I don't know. I really don't know. I would love to go see this. Okay. But this ain't worth the $100 to go 2 cities over to see. Now, I've heard that it's going to be showing up at a theater in my hometown, a small town theater in my hometown. But is it even worth it then? You know? Yes, I don't have to spend like the money for gas and food and stuff. But even then, is it still worth the money? And I just don't know. As we get closer to a release date, which is going to be on May 22nd, I'll have a more thorough idea of what I'm looking at. Okay? In terms of whether or not I'm going to go see it. But right now, in all honesty, I just don't have any hype for this movie. And it ain't the movie's fault. It's just the way the brand has been done. All the drama and stuff that has been surrounding the brand for almost 10 years now, since Disney got a hold of it. And the fact that this movie is still leading into the sequel trilogy. Okay? I just don't know. Okay? But anyway, that was The Mandalorian and Grogu. It will be coming out on May 22nd in theaters only. Look, I'll just be honest with you. It was a decent trailer. It was a pretty good trailer. But right now, with the way things stand in the Star Wars universe, I just don't know if I'm going to go see The Mandalorian and Grogu. Even if it does come to my small town theater in my hometown.
Continuing on with the news from TV, movies, and anime from the past 2 weeks.
Now, there is one more trailer I want to look at. And what I'm talking about is Jack Ryan's Ghost War. Now, understand something. I am a huge Tom Clancy fan, okay? I love Red Storm Rising. I love some of the Jack Ryan books. And I love Rainbow Six, okay? I firmly believe that Ghost War, a movie that is based off the Tom Clancy Jack Ryan series, could very well be leading into a Rainbow Six series or movie, okay? But even without that, okay, I love the Jack Ryan series over on Amazon Prime. Alright? And when I'm able to watch them, it's a good series, okay? Filled with suspense and spies and action and all that, okay? So let's take a look at the upcoming trailer for Jack Ryan's Ghost War, a movie from Amazon Prime. And I'll give you some of my thoughts and opinions on it.
So you leave the CIA, you get yourself a...
So at this point, it seems like Jack Ryan has left the CIA and he's gotten himself a contractor job somehow. Now remember, Jack Ryan was a financial analyst, okay? He tracked money going in and out of terror groups around the world, okay? So he left the CIA for some type of contractor job, okay?
Civilian job.
Are you kidding me?
There's Greer. Okay, I know he ain't like the Greer we remember from the Jack Ryan movies like Hunt for Red October and Patriot Games. But he still did a good job as Greer, okay?
See you.
Whatever it is, I'm not doing it.
I just need you to meet a guy.
No.
God, I miss this.
Missed what? Being out in the field.
Don't look directly at me. Sorry.
Might as well just touch your earpiece.
Your friend sent you because he's scared. He's right to be.
Put your hands up. Put them up!
Jack Ryan, I'm sure you're about to tell me that you're a civilian.
Because I am.
What do you know about Starling?
Do you mean an unsanctioned black ops team? Specifically designed for psychological warfare, assassinations?
Let's shut it down.
Okay, so what we're getting from this is that Greer shut down a covert black ops team inside the CIA. And someone has reactivated them.
The Starling has been resurrected. They're intelligent. They're dangerous. And they'll do exactly what we trained them to do.
The storm is coming.
You ready?
Let's go cause an incident.
When you're being attacked, the rules change.
What's the difference between you and them?
I don't know.
Maybe it's you.
Okay, that looked absolutely dope. Okay, that looked absolutely incredible. And it's coming out on May 20th. Now, this is probably going to be going up against The Mandalorian and Grogu. Okay, the only difference being that this will be on Amazon Prime, whereas The Mandalorian and Grogu will only be in theaters. Okay, this looked absolutely incredible. And I get the feeling that this is going to lead into a possible Rainbow Six either series or movie. And I wouldn't be surprised if not Rainbow Six and maybe Ghost Recon. Okay, because you're basically dealing with a Black Ops organization that was shut down by Greer. Someone resurrected it, and now they're going loose. Okay, I would not be surprised if at the end of this movie, and this is going to be a movie, that either Ghost Recon or Rainbow Six is introduced into the Amazon, Tom Clancy universe that they've made up. Okay. I really hope it is. Okay. And the reason I'm kind of leaning towards Rainbow Six is because in the last season of Jack Ryan, okay, the season that predates this, they introduced Domingo Chavez. Okay. All they need now is John Clark. And you have yourself the core of what Rainbow Six is. Okay. And it wouldn't take much to get a Ghost Recon, series going in the same kind of light as a Rainbow Six movie would go in. It wouldn't take all that much to do that by introducing some of the characters in Ghost War. But yeah, that was Tom Clancy's Ghost War. It comes out May 20th. This almost makes me want to get Amazon Prime. Almost. Okay? Because I want to know what happens next for Jack Ryan. Is this going to be just the end and then they move on to something else? Or are we going to see a continuation? Or could we perhaps see an expansion of the Tom Clancy universe at Amazon with maybe Ghost Recon and Rainbow Six and maybe even The Campus? The Campus was a big organization in the Jack Ryan books. And the fact that he says that he now has a civilian job could indicate that he maybe works for the campus. Okay? Which, while it was not directly a government position, they were civilian contractors paid for by the government. Okay? So I'm kind of wondering if they could perhaps be bringing in the campus. Okay? But yeah. This almost makes me want to get Amazon Prime. Okay? I just want to know what direction they're going in before I jump on that bandwagon. But it looks absolutely incredible. It looks completely dope. It looks absolutely insane. You've got Greer back. You got Ryan back. You've got a Black Ops team that is running amok. And by all accounts, this looks to be a great movie that will be coming on streaming. It makes me almost want to get Amazon Prime. Almost. Okay? If I knew what was coming next after Ghost War, if they were going to either continue the Jack Ryan brand or expand upon it with maybe Ghost Recon, The Campus, and Rainbow Six, I might be more into it. Okay? But anyway, that was the trailer for Jack Ryan's Ghost War. It is an Amazon Prime movie that'll be coming out on May the 20th. And I'm definitely going to be keeping my eyes open on this one. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was your Geek Report for the weeks of April the 5th through April the 19th of 2026. To kind of review what we talked about, everything came from the movie and TV segment, and it was all about the trailers. So the first trailer we looked at was the new Street Fighter trailer. I talked about why this trailer was so important, why it's got me so hyped, and why I can't wait to see this movie. Then we looked at the newest trailer for the Mandalorian Grogu. I talked about the just abysmal way this movie has been marketed, and overall why there seems to be not any hype for this movie. Okay. And then we moved on to the newest property from the people over at Amazon Studios. And we focused on the newest Jack Ryan Ghost War trailer. This is a movie that is said to be a continuation of the Jack Ryan Amazon Prime series. I told y'all why I like this movie and overall what I think it could be leading to. Well, anyway, that was your Geek Report for the weeks of April the 5th through April the 19th of 2026. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are doing well and staying healthy. Check out some of my other Geek Reports as well as my gameplay, book reviews, and TV and movie reviews. And I will see you guys in the next video and in the next stream. Laters.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching this episode of the Geek Report. I hope you enjoyed it. If you got a moment, please check out my other video sites as well as my social media and give them a like and follow. I will see you all in the next video and the next stream. Laters.